Tom Gaddis here. We have a great live training lined up for you today. We are going to be talking about the lazy guide to AI riches. I'm going to show you how to use software and AI to do all the fulfillment. One of the best kind of like intro services that you can offer a small business owner. But now, with some of the updates that High Level just rolled out this past October, you can actually do a lot of this yourself, automate a lot of it, and you don't have to try to figure it out. Like you can just go in and start doing it right away. In the past, this is something you really kind of had to, learn and study and all that stuff, which is still good. You're still going to want to do that, but you'll be able to get started with this service a lot easier. And it actually leads to a lot of, naturally leads to a lot of other AI services that you can sell. But we'll get into all of that as we get going. What's up, Kevin, Michael, Mike Cruz? I see everybody here. Pete, welcome. If you guys can see and hear me, make sure you let me know in the chat. I would appreciate that. I'm sporting the new, these glasses, just so you guys know, were a gift for speaking at the high level event in October. These are AI meta glasses. So it's been interesting. I just got my prescription lenses, put them in there the other day. So I've only been wearing them for a couple of days. So it's been a little bit of an adjustment period, but they're pretty fancy. I like them. They're pretty nifty so far. All right, some Arizona, awesome. All right, fantastic. Well, let's dive right in because we got a lot to cover, and I want to be able to take plenty of your questions and go over all that as well. So I'm going to start off by showing, as usual, when we do these special walkthrough Wednesday trainings where we zero in on one specific little topic and thing. Cameron and the team always put together an awesome little PDF that you can get. So you're seeing it right now. This is the Lazy Guide to AI Riches. This is going to be everything we're going to talk about today. It's all mapped out here for you. So you don't have to take a lot of screen captures or really, I mean, you can take notes if you want, but a lot of it is in here as well. So we will drop a link so that you can download this special guide later on in the training. But I don't want you to get distracted right now, so I'll put that a little bit later. And we're just going to start going through this so I can talk about what we have going and show you all the ins and outs of what we got here. So first off, what exactly is it that we're going to be offering? What is this service, right? I've been kind of vague about it up to this point. Well, it's Google Business Profile Management. And I know we have a lot of people in our community that already offer this service. Again, they've worked out their own systems, processes. This has been kind of a manual process that you just sort of had to figure out on your own in the past, which is why we haven't really trained on it a lot. We've talked about it. We've shared some of the things we do with it, but we've never really kind of like talked about how you do this as a complete service. And that's what we're going to do today, because offering Google Business Profile Management is a real low resistance offer that builds instant trust and credibility. Every business already has or needs a Google Business Profile listing, right? They are already out there. For those of you that are Smart Directory AI users, you may recognize this strategy that Google is using of giving people a free listing and then asking them to claim it. Where have I seen that before, Cameron? It's on the tip of my tongue. It sounds like it. I don't know. Maybe a course or a software that we have, we maybe follow that exact same strategy. So this is really like a worldwide version of that strategy. So a lot of things that we do there, we can apply here and we can help business owners get all of this stuff set up. So the other great thing about this is once you're managing their profile, it's kind of a natural next step to introduce AI tools to enhance the performance. Things like automated review replies, setting up automated review requests, something that a lot of business owners struggle with. You can do AI written posts. There's smart reporting. Of course, there's chatbots and AI agents that convert visitors into customers. So you can really turn a very simple local villa visibility service into an AI recurring stream pretty easily. So we're going to go over all that. I'm going to talk to you about, kind of what Google Business Profile Management is if you're not familiar with it. We're going to go over pricing and packages, what to put in your packages, how to structure them. And then, of course, we're going to talk about fulfillment and all those things as well. So this is a great foot in the door offer. Again, if you're using Smart Directory AI as your prospecting for your prospecting outreach, this is an awesome first service to approach your people about, because you can use things like the your free online visibility report that we give when we give a premium listing. We can generate that in high level using the free tool, and we can use that to help sell this service as well. So we'll talk about that, all of that stuff as well. And oh yes, there we do record these and we post them on the YouTube channel. So tomorrow, this whole training will be available on the YouTube channel as well. And again, I'll drop a link to the PDF as we go. So let's talk about, I'm going to pull up my screen here and we're just going to kind of start going through this PDF that you're going to get access to later. And this will keep me on track so I make sure I don't miss anything and we cover everything. So let's just talk about Google Business Profile as a service. So what really is a Google Business Profile? Well, when you go to Google, for those of you that may be new to all this, and you search for a local business, like say a painter. So if I search for a painter in Las Vegas, you'll see over here in the search results, there's these sponsored listings that happen up here, right? And then there's another set of sponsored results. And then there's this little section that starts off with businesses. So these are actually profiles that Google automatically sets up for small businesses. And this is what they call their maps section, right? So this is how Google Maps gets all the information about a business, all of that stuff. And although Google sets them up for free, it's up to the business owners to go in and claim their listing and also optimize them, make sure all the information is correct, and do all the little things that help them to show up higher in this ranking. As you can see in this particular one, so this is for Las Vegas, there's only three places that are free. This person is paying to be here, right? Because it says sponsored right above their name. But these three people are getting this free. This is what is usually typically known as local SEO. When people discuss local SEO as a service, this is typically what they're talking about, getting people to show up in these top three spots on the maps listings. Now, if you click down here to more businesses, you will see that there are literally, pages and pages. Look, pages and pages of painting businesses that are not showing up in the top three, right? There is only three spots available. So everybody else down here from DC Painting on is just out in the cold. They're out of luck. Now, DC Painting, I'm sure, would love to take one of these top spots from the first three, right? I bet all pro painters would too, Nevada Painting Company. And that's what makes this such a great service, because we can target these people that are almost there but not quite. And usually for us as the person providing the service, that means we're not going to have to do as much to get them results. Like getting DC Painting to show up here in the first three is probably going to be a little bit of an easier job than getting somebody that's all the way back here on page 9 to show up, right? Like, look, so I'll talk about some of the things that Google looks at when they're deciding where to place people. One is reviews. Like, see this Solus Touch, they only have 7 reviews. Let's go back and look at the people on the first 3 spots. What do they have? Well, 595 reviews, 127 reviews, 306 reviews. So one of the ways that we could help someone get here is by helping them generate more reviews on their Google Business Profile. But going from 7 to 595 is a pretty tall order. Would you guys agree? That's a pretty tall task. But if we look down here at some of these other ones, like look at this guy, Nevada Painting Company, they have 171 reviews already. So like we're not that far off. Now this guy is showing up with only 127 reviews, right? So, these people are more in the range of being able to get here than somebody maybe way back. But even the people way back would like help improving and doing all of that stuff, right? So let me so reviews, that's one way they do it, right? Making sure that all your information is filled out correctly. So this is like the Google business profile listing. So having great photos, having your website connected, having hours in, having all of your the proper service types set. Also, like I mentioned, reviews. Also, posting things regularly, responding to comments. Those are all things that can help a business here in this area. And those are all things that we can now do automated and almost entirely through high level with the recent updates they rolled out in October. So I'm going to show you all that in a minute. So that's what a Google business profile is. And that's kind of the things that Google looks for. And there's some other stuff in there too, you know, creating what's known as citations, which a citation may sound fancy, but it's really just a business's name, address, and phone number on some other web property. So for those of you that have Smart Directory AI sites, you know, we talk about how giving a business a listing on your directory site is an SEO boost to them. And this is why, because when you have a local focused directory, like if you have a directory based in Las Vegas, Google puts more weight on the businesses listed in that Las Vegas directory when people are searching for things in Las Vegas. Does that make sense? It's what's called a hyper local directory, and a listing on that is valuable for Google because it is hyper local and those are difficult to find. So whenever someone has a listing and that is their name, address, and phone number on your directory, and it matches what's on their Google business profile, that is called a citation. And when a business, when they have a lot of citations on a lot of different authority sites like that, and they all match the Google profile, that helps the Google profile get pushed up in the rankings. So if you're an SEO person, think of a citation as like a local backlink, right? So it's not really a backlink, but Google matches all that information up, and it's kind of how Google tells if this is an authoritative business, right? Along with reviews and some other things like that. Now, you may notice that those types of things are exactly what the AI search bots look for these days, right? They look for lots of mentions of you online. They look for positive reviews. They look for comparisons, structured data, all those things. So a lot of the things that apply to old style SEO also apply to AEO, advanced engine optimization, GEO, all of that stuff as well. But we can talk about that kind of as we go through. So does anybody have any questions on how about what a Google business profile is? Is that all clear to everyone? Dorn, I can hear you. Tap, tap. Your thing is on. Um, why do some listings not show directions? That is a good question. You know, I don't know the answer to that off the top of my head. I would have to go and, well, maybe because I know why. It's because they do not have an actual address listed for their business. So actually, someone sent in a question about this. So I'll address this right now because I thought this was a great question. One person said when we're doing this train, and by the way, if you guys ever see a topic we're going to cover on Walkthrough Wednesday and you have a specific question about it that you want me to answer, just shoot me an email, tom@offlinesharks.com, and I will cover it and I'll get to it. So this is a question I wanted to get to today anyway. This is a good time to do it. So whenever you're setting up a Google business profile, a lot of people struggle when the business doesn't have a physical address. Okay. So there are lots of businesses that don't have physical addresses. Either usually, like this person is a painter, and maybe they are just operating out of their house and they don't want to put their house address on Google for the whole world to see. They don't want people showing up to their business address because it's not really a business address, right? They're a service-based business. So one of the things that Google allows you to do when you're setting up a Google business profile is you have the option to either show your address or you can set your profile up as a service business, which hides your address from public view and allows you to set a service area around your address. So you can say, here's my address and I services businesses in this circle, but don't show my address. And so that's what this person is doing right here. They are a service-based business and they don't want to show a physical address. So that's why it doesn't show any directions here, because they're not making their physical location public. Does that make sense to everybody? And you're right, my reviews are not that, none of it is the be all end all. There's not one thing that I can point to that is like, yeah, just do this one thing and you'll show up in the top three. Sometimes you can do all the things right and you still don't show up in the top three. So, like, you just have to implement the best you can, optimize the best you can, do the things that are the best standard business practices. That still is not a guarantee that you'll show up in the first three pack. And that is kind of an important thing. If this is what you're going for with clients of like, hey, I'm going to help you show up in the top three, you got to make sure you tell them like, look, this can take a lot of time depending on the competitive, the competition. You want to make sure you charge appropriately for that. And you have to let them know that like, look, I can't guarantee results, right? Like, I don't own Google. I can't promise you'll be there. We can just do the right things and hopefully that helps. All right. Diane says, I always tell people to get a virtual address. Yes. Awesome. Okay, so make sure I got all these questions here. Um, okay. So a business, Brent, a business sees their Google business profile by claiming their Google business profile, and that attaches it to their Google login. So then they can do their Google login, and as the person who claimed the business, they will now be the business owner, and they're able to make changes and edits and approve things and do all that stuff. They can even assign someone as a manager to their Google business profile. So you, for instance, they could make you a manager of their Google business profile. And now you would have access to all that information in your Google login because they've made you a manager. And it is very easy to do that. I'm not really going to go over it here because I mean, you can just Google how to do it. Google will tell you. Basically, they just go in, their business profile has to be claimed. Once it's claimed, then they can go in and they just put in your Google email and assign you as a manager, and you'll get an email saying you're a manager. And now you can go in and access their Google business profile. Okay. Let's see. Cat. Okay, so I wanna say this too about the virtual addresses and things like that. All right. It is against Google's terms of service to make a Google business profile for an online business or for a business that is not in the area that you're making the Google business profile on. So some of you who have been around for a while may have seen the strategy of like going and creating a bunch of Google business profiles for like locksmith in all different kinds of towns, even though you're not a real locksmith, and then getting those to rank and then selling those leads to locksmiths. That was so big that Google pretty much cracked down on it, and you have to go through a lot of extra verification if you're trying to start a locksmith business because of that, because people trying to game the system. I do not recommend that you try to game the Google system. We do not game the Google system. We always follow Google's best practices and their terms of services. If you don't do that, you do so at your own risk. Your Google business profile can be penalized, it can be banned, it can be removed. It happens all the time. Don't do anything shady. Try operate within the appropriate rules. So, that being said, you can set up an address in an area. You can set up a service area. That way, you have a Google business profile. But just know that there is a chance that you can't use a PO box. You can't do things like that. So, if you're trying to do that stuff, you're trying to game the system, and that is not what we recommend. We do not try to game the systems for our clients, especially for clients, because the last thing you want is for the client's Google business profile to get in trouble because you did something shady. We just stay away from all that stuff and we just do all the best practices, right? Okay. All those companies do say that, John, but don't believe them. It's BS. Or if they can get you there, they're doing it in a shady way and there's trouble. And Jacqueline, it is not possible for businesses to share the same address. Like you usually have to have multiple locations. Okay. All right, so I think I've gone through that. So we covered kind of the Google business profile basics, right? Here's where they show up. Here's what they are. You know all about that. I talked about how a business access their profile, how they can make you a manager. We talked about following the terms of service for Google business profiles, not trying to do anything shady, all that kind of stuff as well. Tori, that's awesome that you have two businesses at one address. Um, but you can't have both of those addresses on your same Google business profile. I don't know a way around that. I mean, I guess you could use the same address, but it may get kind of confusing to Google and I don't know what could happen there, right? Okay. All right. So let's go back to our guide here and let's talk about some of the options when you're offering Google Business Profile as a service. So there are a couple of different ways that you can go with this. So one way is to just offer a one-time setup and optimization of their Google Business Profile. This is just a one-time fee that you charge where you help them claim their profile, verify, you optimize their categories, descriptions, upload images, and you kind of talk to them about initial a review strategy. This is often when we talk about like a foot in the door strategy, like a one-time thing that you may charge anywhere from $199 to or $99 to $499. This would be that type of a thing where you're just helping them once get everything claimed, optimized, set up, but there's no ongoing services involved with it. So this is one approach to Google My Business or profiles as a service. So that's one option, right? We can just do it as a foot in the door. We can offer to get it optimized, all those types of things. So when you see like on, I think I did a Smart Directory AI training where I was talking about the pricing packages, and one of the tangibles that I included in our premium upgrade offer was to optimize their Google business profile, right? Not to do anything ongoing, but just optimize it. And I think I had it as a $399 value or something like that. So that's one way you could use this particular thing in conjunction with your Smart Directory AI prospecting strategy. You could make Google business profile optimization one of the things you offer. And then once you optimize it, then you could talk to them about monthly recurring and upsell them there, right? A real foot in the door offer. So that's one option. The other thing you can do with this is a monthly maintenance kind of growth package. So this is where maybe you get like a setup fee and then there's a monthly charge to continue to do things to help them move up. And we'll talk about that. Most of the time, this includes things like posting reviews, monitoring reviews, responding to reviews, updating photos regularly, giving them a monthly report, talking about checks for duplicate spam, minor local SEO tweaks, things like that. And then you can also have like a premium multi-location scaling package. This would be for businesses that, have multiple locations, which we have several people in our community that have deals like this where they're helping people manage multiple Google business profiles and things like that. This is usually where you can get into higher dollar packages and things like that. The other thing that makes Google business profile management such a great option is it's pretty natural to provide add-ons like review generation campaigns, citation management. And by the way, I'm going to show you how you can automate most of this and just handle it all. Like you don't need to know how to do all this stuff. I'm going to show you how to use AI and other tools to do all this. AI agents and Google Ads for local service businesses as well. So what are the common components of Google Business Profile Management? Well, there's profile claim, setup, and verification. So that's where you help them claim, setup, and all of that stuff, right? There's profile optimization. So helping them select the right categories, adding a description, adding keywords, business hours, veterans, all of that stuff. Let me just see if I'm missing any. Okay. Um, Profile optimization, photos, videos, visual content. So uploading high quality storefront, interior, exterior, product, services, all this stuff. You can see here, why does this matter? Well, visuals boost engagement and often help differentiate the business in search map results. These are posts and updates is another thing you can include in here. This keeps the profile active, shows fresh content. I'm going to talk about how to automate all of this, how you can do this as well. Then there's review and reputation management, right? These are a strong trust signal. And then, of course, there's ongoing maintenance and monitoring, along with analytics reporting. Local SEO maps availability is another thing you can add on to this. So all of these things are typically when you see a company offering Google Business Profile Management, their packages are some combination of these various things that I listed here. And I put these here so that you can kind of take a look at this and decide, well, what do you want to include in your packages and all that stuff as well. And again, I'm going to show you how to implement and do all of this here in just a minute. These are some example pricing plans. So these are just examples, okay? You should think about how much money you want to make, what you want to get, all of that stuff, and determine your pricing accordingly. I am not a big fan of cookie cutter pricing. I think it sucks. Maybe if you're just getting started and you're trying to get your first few clients, then I can see pricing on the low side so you get some confidence and experience knowing that after your first, 3 or 4 clients, you're going to raise those prices and start getting things up. But this is just some examples. So a basic visibility plan, this is something that you could charge anywhere from, I say 297 to 149 a month here, but really you could probably do, yeah, I mean, that's probably good. 149, 300, somewhere around there. Basically what this includes is you help them claim, set up, optimize the profile. You do 4 monthly posts for them, and then you do review monitoring and you give them a monthly report. So this is something that's for a small business. They just want to get kind of the foundation stuff going. They're looking for better visibility, but maybe they're on a budget. Maybe it's a new relationship and you're just trying to build out some trust, right? All right. A growth plan. So this would be kind of your middle package. So would be for a business that wants a little more consistent engagement. Plus, then maybe they want a review collection. So maybe they struggle collecting reviews for their work, and you can help them automate and set that up. This can be anywhere from $2.99 to $4.99 a month. It includes everything in the basic, but the 2 additional things they get are review request automation, and you double the amount of posts you make monthly. So you do 8 posts a month, plus you can reply to their reviews for them, so they don't have to do that as well. So this is a great plan. If you have a middle plan like this, a lot of people will take that because it actually takes work off their plate and provides value. Then there's the domination plan, which I talked about earlier, which this would be for like multi-location or super competitive niches. Look, taking a brand new DUI attorney and getting their brand new Google business profile to rank in the 3-pack is going to be a monumental challenge, right? That is a extremely competitive niche. The people in your area that rank high there have probably been working on that for years. So it is unrealistic to think that you can just come in and knock those people off with something new. So you have to be very realistic with your clients. If they are in a competitive niche, really set the expectation for them, let them know what's going on, unless they've got big money to throw at it, right? Money solves it all. If they've got a bunch of money to throw at it, then you could probably help them get it done. But if they're trying to do it on a budget, it's really not going to work out, right? But you can still implement the foundations and the good basic stuff for them. Now, I talked a little bit about the posts and that. I'm going to show you how to automate all that in a second. But I did just want to touch real quickly on what do you post to a Google Business Profile page. Well, good things to post are like offers, special offers, educational content, like things about their service, showcase case studies, and events that may be doing, or review highlights of ways that they've helped businesses. So this is a simple 4-week content rotation that you can use as a starting point. Week 1, you make a special offer. Week 2, you post something educational. Week 3, you do a showcase or a case study. And week 4, you do event or review highlight. And So this would be like, look at this 5-star review you got, and you talk a little bit about that client, right? And again, I'm going to show you how to automate all of this. So let's get into the nitty gritty, the how to, right? We've talked about what this is, what it does, how to do it, pricing, all of those kinds of things. Clients for this are literally everywhere in your own backyard, especially if you're doing a directory. Great service to lead out with and offer. So how do we implement all this? Well, we're going to use high level, right? As you guys know, uh, we run all of our business through here. And, this really just gives you one place to do everything. And now with the new Google Business Profile updates that are live in everyone's high level account, this process is easier than ever inside of high level. So I'm going to walk you through that right now. So first, let's talk about how do we connect a Google Business Profile to a high level sub account. So you cannot connect a Google Business Profile at the agency level. It has to be at the sub account level where you're doing all the marketing for that particular client. So a lot of times you'll hear me talk about in trainings like, oh, when we bring someone in on our directory and we sell them an agency service like Google Business Profile Management, we then move them into their own sub account that is strictly for their business, so we can do all of the marketing and everything through there and keep everything nice and organized. So I'm going to show you a couple things. One, I'm going to go into one of my demo sub accounts and just show you where this new stuff is located and how you would connect yours or a client's Google Business Profile. So if you have a sub account for your agency, which you should, you can go in and connect your Google Business Profile and learn this process as well before doing it for a client. So you find the Google Business stuff inside the Reputation tab. So down here in the left-hand menu, kind of towards the bottom, there's Reputation. And if I go into Reputation, you're going to see there's a brand new option on the far right called GBP Optimization. Now, I'm going to walk you through all this, how it works and all that stuff as well. But when you click on it, the first thing it's going to ask you to do is to integrate a Google Business Profile. So all you do is click this, and it's going to take you to integrations, and you just connect whatever Google account is associated with the Google Business Profile that you want to manage here. So you connect that Google account, and then a little window will pop up that says connect to Google Business Profile, and you can just do it right there. And then you just click a button, and boom, the profile is connected. Easy peasy. Very, very easy to do. All right. I'm going to go over to another account where I've done this with a client so that you can see exactly how this all works. Oh, sorry. Let me get out of there. Okay. So here's a Google, another sub account where I've connected this client, Island Fire and Water Restoration. I've connected their Google Business Profile just the way I described. So all I did was I had this client add me as a manager to their Google Business Profile. And then I was able to just come in here and just click that button and connect it, right? Because it's associated with my Google account. Now I went into Reputation and Google Business Optimization, and it brings me to this screen. Now I've already started to kind of do some work here, but this is really awesome because basically high level just tells you exactly how to optimize this profile. So if anything is wrong, it tells you. So there's this Google Business Profile score, and this is what it was when I started. You can see I've already made some improvements to this to get it higher. But basically, all you have to do is go down this list, and anything that doesn't have a green check mark, you just fix. So look, no chat options configured. So adding a WhatsApp or text message chat would make this profile better. They don't have any attributes. I think before the services were missing, the categories were missing. They didn't have a business description. So I used Chat GPT to write this business description, and then I just pasted it in here. That's how I got this score up already. Now you can go in and edit images and place better images and all that kind of stuff. You can edit their opening hours, all of that stuff, right? So, and this little panel over here shows you what the listing looks like on Google. So as you make changes, you can see what it would look like live. So when we offer Google optimization as a service, this is the first thing we do. We connect it into a sub account, and we go through all the little things and make sure we don't have any red check marks. Everything is green. Okay, everybody with me there? So that's step one. But there's also two other things we want to do. If you click on this left-hand menu, social profiles, you can connect all of their social profiles to their Google business profile, and then people can message and respond via their profile. So this would be the next step, right? Connecting these, add your website, social profiles to boost your business profile score. So having these in here will also improve their score and get this score up, right? So as I'm doing this, I'm just gonna, maybe take a screenshot of this and send it to the client and say, look, when we started, this is where you're at. Now we're here, optimization complete, right? So social profiles is another step. Very easy to do. You just paste the URLs right in here. Finally, there's reviews. So you'll see that this is already pulling the reviews in from their Google Business Profile page, and it will show you the reviews, and it also shows you any responses that the person made to the review. So you can see this person hasn't responded to a review since 2020. So, this is an additional service that we could tack onto this that would be great for them because they're not responding to reviews, right? And they're not really generating any new reviews. This last review was 2024. So helping them generate more reviews and responding to reviews would be a big boost for their business. Now, high level makes that very, very easy because to respond to the reviews, we can just use AI. So you see this little button up here, reply to customer's review with our reviews AI. I'm just going to click this, and you'll see it opens up a review AI that is already set up. There's already a reviews AI agent. It's already connected to this Google Business Profile. And I can just click this to auto responses. And whenever someone leaves a review, the AI will read the review and respond to them. And I can set when the review response happens. I can make it immediate, or I can do it within minutes or hours. So I might say, let's respond to all reviews within 30 minutes. And now the AI agent will, when a review is posted, 30 minutes later, it will post a response. Or I could do it even quicker than that, right? So I don't even have to do anything for this to offer this service. I just set this up one time and the AI replies. Now, there's other things you can do here to help them with reviews, and I'll talk about this. Again, all of this is in the reputation setting, but we can generate review links to help them generate reviews. For Facebook, we can do custom links. We can help them with SMS review requests, with email requests. So basically, I can make it so that whenever a certain action happens, the client or their customer gets an SMS asking them to leave a review. And all of this would be automated. I just have to set it up one time and I don't have to touch it again. I can do the same thing with email. Whenever a certain action happens, they get an email asking for review, like maybe an invoice is sent or an invoice is paid or something like that. You can also do what apps requests. You can generate QR codes. You can help remove spam reviews. So I can set this to automatically detect whether incoming review is spam or not and just click save. And now that's another benefit that I'm giving them, right? They don't need to know that all it took me was clicking one button and clicking save. I can just say, look, I'm also going to make sure you don't get any spam reviews and remove any there. And then, of course, there's lots of integrations you can do here as well. So that is the review section. Again, you can get there by either just going to the optimization and clicking on reviews, or you can click on this review section right here and it kind of takes you to the same place. Here's more, right? We can do more stuff here, send review requests, all that. Everybody with me there so far? Keith, you can do this with a $97 account. Yeah, I try not to do any trainings that require you to have the higher level accounts because, I know we have a lot of people that are, you're working your way up and all that stuff. So you can do this with a $97 account. No, it's not auto reviews. It's not the same phrase response. Like the AI reads it and responds. And you can also train the AI agent. So let's say that you go in here and you're like, oh, well, I want every response to be different. Well, we can go in and click edit. And you can see here are the current instructions. You will be provided with reviews of a business. Your task is to generate an appropriate response. This reply will be used directly in a real world business setting. Do not ask follow-up questions. Do not include any situation at the end of the reply. Keep the responses within 5 sentences. You could even add here make sure all responses are unique. Right now, I don't have a tone, so we could just say professional or maybe grateful, right? And then we can select the language and all that stuff as well. So if you find that it's just generating the same responses, you can actually go in and tell the agent not to do that, right? Hope that answers that question. Yeah, Mike, doing it without automation should make you leery. It is a lot to try to do all this without automation. So, and that's where you come in, right? That's the value you bring to the business because you're monitoring all this. If something goes wrong, you're optimizing and fixing it for them, right? That is why they pay you. They are paying you to handle this for them. So that is what you're getting paid for, to set up the automations and monitor them and make sure everything runs smoothly. And if there is a problem, you fix it. Like otherwise, why the heck would they pay you? Right? What would the value be that you're bringing? So that is the value we bring, is being able to implement this for them. And what's awesome is we can do a lot of it through automation, which makes our workload easier. We can handle more clients. We can price more effectively, all that kind of stuff, right? So, all right. So we talked about the optimizations and all those things as well. So let's talk a little bit about we talked about reputation management. I talked about, okay, let's talk about making the automated posts. Okay, so again, high level has made this super, super easy. So now you can connect a Google business profile as one of your social channels inside of the social planner. So this function is not located in reputation. It's actually located in marketing. That's what takes us to the social planner. And I'm going to show you this. I'm going to make a new post. And then I'm going to select where I want it to go. And you can see I've already connected the Google or the Island Fire Google Business Profile. So I'm just going to select that. And now I can use AI to write a post. I can add a picture. I can use AI to create a picture. I can set a call to action. And I can schedule this post to go out whenever I want on their Google Business Profile. So if I were just had a basic plan, I would just come in here, maybe at the beginning of each month or the end of the previous month, and I would just write 4 posts and I would just schedule them to go out. Again, I would use this content strategy that I laid out here. The first week I do an offer, educational showcase, and then I would just schedule them to go out. And you'll see, like, here's one that I did the other day. So this was a draft one. I found this picture in, I think, Unsplash, which is free, right? I used AI to write this. So I can just schedule this whenever I want. I can even send it to the client for review before it gets published, just like regular social media posts being scheduled in the planner. And the way you add the Google Business Profile is the same way you add any social channel. You just click this little socials plus up here, and you'll see there's a connect GBP. And you just select that, and then it will show you whatever Google Business Profiles are available from the Google account. So if you manage multiple Google Business Profiles, you will have multiple ones in the list there. But that's how you connect it. So you do it there, and then you can just create new posts and schedule them just like I laid out there. So very, very easy and straightforward as well. Okay, I want to talk about one more thing here because let me close this off. Let me close this off. I want to talk about one more thing here. I mentioned the citations and the listings and things like that. So one of the things with Google Business Profile Management is, and local SEO in general, is having your name, address, and phone number correct across a bunch of different various listing platforms. And again, High Level makes this very easy to do because High Level actually has a listing service. This is something that you, the agency, just gets to white label and provide, and you have to do zero of the work. You just sign the client up, add this to their package, and it just all happens in the background. You don't have to do anything. So I'm going to show you that. You find it right here where it says listings. So I'm in the reputation tab, and you'll see it says listings right here. So if I go here, this is one tool to list. So basically, you can scan a business, right? And discover what the listings look like. So here's listing management, premium backlinks, sync functionality, duplicate suppression. So when you activate this for the client, it does all of these things for them automatically. And here's the thing, like you can, if you're selling high level as a SaaS, meaning like your clients are going in and managing their stuff in the back end, you can control the pricing of this and mark it up. So let me show you where that's at and how to make sure this is all activated. So if we go back to our agency view, and then I'm going to take your questions here. So if we go back to our agency view and we want to go to, hold on, let me refresh here. We want to go to reselling. So in the reselling of your agency thing, you're going to see a lot of different things that you can resell, right? So here's Search Atlas. This is something you can resell. And here is the listing service. Okay. So I can set exactly what I want to do here. So here is the price to you. So if you want to do just a monthly plan, your hard cost is $30, and then you can charge the client whatever you want. So let's say that I just want to mark this up to, let's just do $97, or let's do 99. So I can mark this up to $99 and I'll be making a profit of $69, right? It also automatically adjusts the other plans as well. So everything is out and I can just click save. And then when a client in one of my sub accounts activates the listing, this is the price they pay. They're going to pay 99. High level is only going to take 30 of that. And I'm going to keep the additional $69. Does that make sense to everyone? So you set all of this up again in your listing section, or you can just, if you're using this for yourself, if you're not selling high level as a SaaS, you can just set it up to the wholesale pricing. And then whenever you activate it in a sub account, you'll just get the wholesale pricing. So I'm going to leave that there. And then I'm going to go back to my sub account. And again, now whenever someone goes into the reputation section and they click on listings, that is the pricing that they will see in here, right? So let's do a scan my business for free. So I don't want to scan my own business. Well, you could put in the business name, the address, the city, the state, the zip code, the phone number, and you could run a scan and it will go through and show them for free all the listings they need fixed, or this will show you what the listing service will fix for them, and then you can set this up for them. Does that make sense, everybody? I know we're getting close to the top of the hour, so I'm not going to go through all this. It's pretty self-explanatory right there. So that listing service is a very natural thing that you can add on to this as well to help your clients out. All right, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to pull the questions up here. And I'm going to go to the QA box as well. And we're going to start taking some questions. Cameron, can we drop the link to the PDF in the comments for people as well? And if you're watching this video on YouTube, here's what I would like you to do. If you want that PDF that has all of the information that I showed here, let me show you this PDF. If you want this PDF, right here, then what I need you to do is to just go below this video in the description. There is a link to my Smart AI Launch Lab free training. This is a free training where I show you how to get your AI agency up, running, and making money within 72 hours. If you go and sign up for that free training, on the thank you page, there's a link to a bonus doc that will not only have this PDF right here with all of this information in it, but it also has a bunch of other bonus docs that I've shared with links to other videos and trainings that I've done. You will get access to all of those. And again, all you have to do is go and sign up for my AI Smart Lab Launch Lab training, which is absolutely free. You'll love the training. Again, it shows you how to get an agency up and running in 72 hours. There is a link in the description of the video, or if you just want to leave a comment, I'll shoot you over the link so you can do that and get that as well. So either leave a comment below and I personally will send you the link, or you can find it in the description as well. Again, Cameron, if you could put the link to the PDF in there. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want the link to the PDF, do me a favor, leave a comment below. I will shoot you over a link to sign up for our free AI Launch Lab training. Shows you how to get your AI agency set up and running in 72 hours. Once you sign up for that, it's free. On the thank you page, there'll be a link to download this bonus document with this PDF and a bunch of others as well. So it's a win-win for everybody there. Also, if you haven't already, go to offlinesharks.com/YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the notifications. I've been posting new content there pretty much every day. Lots of great strategies, cutting edge stuff, AI focused things. Go there, subscribe to the channel. This video will be there tomorrow, and you'll be able to watch it from there as well. Until then, everybody, stay safe, practice, aloha, and don't forget to show up for our free coaching call this Friday as well. All right, talk to you guys later. Stay safe, everybody.